Val Kilmer has passed away at the age of 65. He passed away yesterday, Tuesday, April 1st, and the cause of death has been reported as pneumonia, and this was said by his daughter, Mercedes Kilmer. So today we're going to take a look at the career Val Kilmer had and some of the roles he had in his most notable movies that I thought were just amazing and what I most remember him for. And he was an awesome actor. But he was more than that. There was just amazing things he did in his life. But we're going to primarily focus on the movie roles that he performed in. My name is Brandon Fogal. This is Evolution. Let's get into it. So when you think of Val Kilmer, when you hear that name, what immediately goes to mind? What role that he played goes to mind? Mine is, without question, no hesitation, Doc Holliday in the movie Tombstone. We're going to take a look at a couple of his big roles, but the one that stands out to me the most, even though he wasn't the primary actor, the primary person on stage in the movie Tombstone, to me, he made that movie. You know, Kurt Russell was incredible, but Val Kilmer and as Doc Holliday, no one could have done it better. I'm here, Huckleberry. That is the line, and I just followed a guy on X solely by the reason he had Doc Holliday's picture, played by Val Kilmer, in his profile. That was the only reason. I mean, that won me over. Just that, you know. So I'm gonna probably have to get a picture of Doc Holliday, Val Kilmer playing that role in here as well. I got my Al Pacino playing Scarface and the Joker as well. So I'm definitely into movies and into acting, and somebody that could have just stole the stage and ran away with it would have been Val Kilmer in his role as Doc Holliday. But there are so many other roles. I just forget about it because it's been a while since he was in the limelight. And one that you might have forgot about was Willow, when in his role as in the story of Willow, you know, and he kind of had a villainous role in that, and he was just like a bad dude in it, but overall he had a good heart, but he was just caught up in a lot of things that made him seem like, you know, he wasn't the best guy that Willow should have trusted in his journey and his quest. But he was amazing in that. Another one I go to is Ghost in the Darkness. In his role as they're in Africa, and he's an engineer. He's got to build a bridge to help this village, help this people group that's out there, but they are just being attacked by lions every day, and he has to put an end to these ghosts in the darkness that are these lions that are just man-eaters that are just destroying people. He was amazing in that role. Deja Vu, that was a one that I pulled up the list of movies that he did, and it never popped up. But he was in the movie Deja Vu, or am I having deja vu? The movie with Denzel Washington, he was in that, wasn't he? And I thought that was a really good movie, but every time I pulled up a list for Val Kilmer, he never, that would never made the top 10 or anything. I didn't even see it on the list. So am I wrong on that? I don't know. I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure he was in that. He just didn't have the Denzel Washington role. He was just a character in that, but he did a good job, a really good job in that as well. Batman. Is he the best Batman? Will he go down as the best Batman of all time? To me, that's a very tough one, but I would say he's up there. I would say he's definitely in the top 3 at least. The top 3, I would give him a top 3 position. Him playing Bruce Wayne in Batman 3, that one was an amazing movie with Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. That one was a very good one, and I thought he did a stellar job at that. But I know people are going to land, and you can argue with me if you want. Everybody goes to Top Gun. Top Gun is the critical role that Val Kilmer played as Iceman. And that was like 80s. That was 80s. I'm if I'm remembering it right, you know, I wasn't really in tune with what was going on in the 80s, but I think that was an 80s movie. And him playing almost the antagonist against Tom Cruise in that movie, who was the primary character in his role as Maverick. But Iceman was the guy that just kept going at him and just challenging him on everything and just trying to make him look stupid. But then they come together and they join forces, and he makes another appearance in the most recent movie of the remake. Not really a remake, but just a 20 years or 30 years later of Top Gun when the movie Maverick came out. And Val Kilmer had a role in that. It wasn't as front and center, but it was a role nonetheless. They had to, because Val Kilmer, he was suffering from throat cancer since 2014. He had recovered from that, but it's very tough, and I just wanted to take this time, just this show, just to remember all that Val Kilmer was. I thought he was incredible in all the roles that he did, and I'm going to put his picture on the screen. And if you can see that, it's him in that most iconic role of Doc Holliday. No one does it better. No one could have done it better. And I remember if he was in the running for the role Forrest Gump. I'm pretty sure he was in the running for that. He could have been Forrest Gump, but Tom Hanks, I think he blasted that one out of the park. So I don't know. That would have been tough. Could you have seen Forrest Gump being played by Val Kilmer? It might have been one that he missed out on, but either way, he led an amazing career. Not all actors are people that you're like, you feel a connection with in their roles that they play. And I know they're not the same person that they are on screen as who they are in real life, but sometimes the times that it's like you get to know them when they're on screen. You feel like you know them and they are a part of your life, that you have a connection with them. And I have, like I said, Al Pacino, and I just drew a blank on, I just didn't want to sound stupid of who played the Joker. I just like Heath Ledger. I just drew a blank on and I couldn't think of his name earlier. Heath Ledger. That was another one that I felt a connection. There are people like Al Pacino. That is his name. Heath Ledger. I'm just gonna look it up because I don't want to. Heath Ledger. I was going back between Kiefer Sutherland and Heath, and I could not think of it, and I didn't want to say it, but that is another guy. So I would say in my life, there are three people that really stand out to me in their roles, and it would be Al Pacino, Scarface, Heath Ledger in his role as the Joker, and Doc Holliday. Val Kilmer playing Doc Holliday. Those are people that really stand out to me. Characters that their performance will last into the ages. No one could have done it better. They will have a forever mark on the Hollywood, that landscape. No one could have led a better performance than them, and those are the people you just feel a connection with. I don't know if you feel about that, about anybody out there, any actors or actresses in roles that they've played that you know them. You just you feel that connection with them, and they've left a lasting mark on your life. This is one of them. Val Kilmer was incredible. He played in so many roles. He had so many contributions to the whole industry of movie making. And there's so many other ones that I could have just listed through. One that keeps popping up is the movie The Saint. I never saw The Saint. I never saw that. And there are so many other ones that he's known for. The Heat, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Secret. I've never known this, but these are the top known movies of Val Kilmer. But either way, it's extremely tough when you lose anyone, But our life here, it's just a reminder of our life here is not what matters forever. What matters is what we do in this life goes into eternity. What we do in this life. So this is just a spot, a moment, a brief moment that we are ever going to experience. We are all eventually going to step into eternity. So the things that you are doing every day matter. They are going to last beyond the grave. They are going to last beyond that time that we are all going to take our final breath. So we don't have to fear it. The only thing that can make us overcome it, is our relationship with God, trusting in Christ. That's what will carry us through into the next age. So we can have peace no matter what we're going through. But I had to spend this time just to talk about Val Kilmer and what he meant to me, and the movies he was in, and just his overall as he was a person, you know. So, all right, we'll leave it at that. So everybody, just keep going and keep evolving to the best version of you.